Yes. What is going on, everybody? It's Victory Tuesday. That's right. Welcome to Touchdown Detroit Lions. I'm your host, Nick Harksen, over here on the Syndicate Sports Detroit network. What's up, everybody? Say hello once you're in here. Lady Lion 20 already says Happy Victory Tuesday. That's what I like to see. Frog Crab, how you doing? We got some people in here. Stop playing with us. We coming for that ring. That's right. That's what I like to see. But yeah, once our comments get flowing, which they already kind of are, we'll get this thing rolling. But yes, Lions took care of business last night on Monday Night Football. You know, wasn't pretty from the defense for a little bit there, but we got the job done. Just like Dan Campbell said, if we have to win ugly, if we have to win by 1 point every game, we're going to do it. Whatever it takes. We keep getting doubted every single week, week in, week out. People are like, I just don't believe in the Lions anymore because of their defensive injuries, all this stuff. Well, it did kind of show up last night, but that offense is so good that it did not matter because ain't nobody going to hang with us on offense. Look, if you can put up 40 points or 40 plus, maybe. But we're going to come at you like that every single game, and that's going to be the key to winning. But we're going to get some people back as well. Dan Campbell was kind of hinting at that at the post-game presser, if you didn't hear, and we'll get into that. But, yes, I'm going to come over here. John Peterson, Victory Tuesday. That is correct. Mary Peterson, hi, Nick. What a great game. Yes, it was a great game. Total package 14-2, baby. That is right, 14-2. And it is so crazy that we're 14-2 and still don't have the division or the 1 seed locked up. Normally, that would be more than enough. A few years ago, the season would have ended. We would have locked up the 1 seed yesterday and the division. But you know what? This is how the cookie crumbles. It can't be easy for the Lions ever. But Dan Campbell loves it that way, and I think the boys, everybody's excited. I would have rather had it locked up this week instead of going into next week against Minnesota. But, you know, this is cinematic. They said it the best. You know, you can't write this any better. And I think that maybe the refs might have had something to do with that against when the Packers were playing the Vikings, but maybe not at the same time. The Packers just couldn't get it done. They looked terrible until the end. Almost got the comeback, but my goodness, can't rely on them for anything. But yeah, Lions 40-34 over the Niners. Jared Goff had another great night, 26 of 34 for 303 passing yards and 3 tutties. Gotta love it. Jahmyr Gibbs, once again, another huge night for him as the feature back. 18 carries, 117 yards, 1 touchdown there. Jameson Williams, 2 tutties on the night. Big-time contributor. Love to see them using him in the right way. He's starting to get the ball more. He's starting to contribute more. You love to see that. Another huge game as well for Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Gibbs also getting in on the passing game with 46 receiving yards, my fault. But, yeah, you know, offense going to stay cooking. I love their different formations. They had, you know, Mahogany and Skipper out there in one package. Sewell kept playing tight end. They actually did a fake end around to him. The play didn't work, but they did a fake end around to Penei Sewell, which is insanity. Ben Johnson just using his creativity, and once the Niners started trying to do trick plays on us, one of which was one that we ran exactly the same earlier. They tried to copy it off of us. It didn't work so well for them. But once I saw them doing that, I was like, okay, Ben's going to pull out all the stops too. This is going to be a back-and-forth battle between some great offensive minds. We came out on top, and a huge reason to that was to the man, Kirby Joseph. Kirby coming up huge on defense, one of the only bright spots there. You know, there are some other timely tackles from other players and whatnot. Jack Campbell coming up there laying some big hits. But, you know, that defensive line, it was looking rough. Reeder had some untimely and uncharacteristic type penalties. And that was happening with a few different guys. Branch as well wasn't having the best game of his life. But Kirby Joseph, 2 interceptions, leads the NFL with 9 interceptions total, has 16, or is it 16 or 17? I think 16 career interceptions. So shout out to Kirby. We have to lock that man back up. Give him his contract that he deserves. He's proven that he should be here. He loves being here. He's leading the league in interceptions. He's out to be the best, and right now he is the best. Give that man a contract and lock him down to be a Lion. All right, some Lions news that just happened. The Lions have waived safety Maurice Norris. So sorry about that, Maurice Norris. Maybe you'll come back. I don't know, but yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown has solidified himself. I did make a post about this a few weeks ago, but he now has the 5th most receptions in Lions history. He just passed Golden Tate. So shout out Amon-Ra St. Brown. We are also the first franchise in NFL history. That's right, you heard it here first. The first franchise in NFL history to have 4 players, or to have a duo of wide receivers and a running back duo to both get more than 1,000 scrimmage yards. That's right. Amon-Ra St. Brown and J-Mo have more than 1,000 scrimmage yards. And Monty and Gibbs, Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic is the way that I said it, but those two also have 1,000 plus scrimmage yards. It's an amazing thing to see. It's a great time to be a Lions fan. Ben Johnson's absolutely cooking. We also set the franchise record for most first downs in a season. The last one was in 2012 with 382 first downs, but now this year we passed it. We got 383. 383, baby. So shout out to the offense there. But, yeah, we're doing great things on the offensive side, and that's why I still believe in this team and believe that we can do great things still in the postseason and next week and lock this thing up, man. Let's lock it up. Hayden Franks, how you doing? What's up, brother? Good to see you in here. The Ones, what's up, Nick? Good to see you in here as well. Lady Lion says, can we expect anyone back for Sunday night? Well, I want to get into that. Yeah, let's get into that. So we got Germ back on Monday, Jalen Reeves-Maben, and I thought he was going to contribute a lot more. He made some good plays, but he was rusty, to say the least. And I was happy to have him back because it means that we're getting more healthy, and that linebacking room, you know, they've always been competitive, and he's done some good things for us when he had to fill in, especially before his injury. This season even, he was playing some good football. But I'm going to give him that game. I'm going to give him, you know, you needed a warm-up game back because, my goodness, it didn't look good. And you could say that about a lot of the defense, though. But you're asking if we're going to get anybody back for next Sunday. Well, Dan Campbell alluded to Anzalone being very close to being back, and he could be ready to go any day. So I wouldn't be surprised with everything that's on the line, the 1 seed, the NFC North. This one's for all the marbles. It's Sunday night. I would bet Alex Anzalone is going to try and come back and play in that game. We got a bye after that. If we would have locked up the division and everything this week, if the Packers would have been able to help us out and secure, you know, because we won, so we would have gotten that 1 seed and the division already this week. If that would have happened, Anzalone's not coming back to the playoffs. Now that it's for all the marbles next Sunday, I'm thinking after what he just saw and Dan Campbell saying he's very close to being back, I'm thinking we might get Anzalone back next Sunday, and that would be amazing. Now, we're not going to know anything more until tomorrow, of course, with the injuries and who's going to be back. They don't have those kind of reports out until Wednesday, unfortunately, because I do my show on Tuesdays most of the time. But Dan Campbell was hinting at it, and the last time he did this with Iffy was back that week. So I'm hoping this means Anzalone comes back because we need him out there bad. I trust the linebacking core with Jack Campbell, Anzalone, and Nowaski out there. I think that's a solid crew right there. Germ, maybe just come in, you know, off the bench, play some reps because it was not looking good last game. But like I said, he could have just been a little rusty. But if anybody's going to come back who's been hurt, I think it will be Anzalone. Khalif Raymond, I know, is also very close, so we could get Leaf back on the offensive side, which would be great news as well. I know that the offense is rolling, but to have another weapon there and to have a great return man, that just gives us another element out there. Remember that game, that huge return game that he had there, how big that was for us against Tennessee and whatnot. So Getting him back will be big too, but I know both of them are very close to being back. I'm not sure if they'll push it or if they'll wait till playoffs, but I mean, it's already pretty much playoffs right now. We got to get that 1 seed. We got to get the North. We're the defending champs. We got to go out there and defend the title, baby. Minnesota's talking a big game. They think they're the tougher team. They ain't going to come into Detroit and embarrass us. No way. Not what they're saying. You're going to have a fight on your hands, dogs, and we might embarrass you if anything. But that defense needs to step it up in a huge way if that's going to happen. And we're going to need another big game from Kirby or somebody. We're going to need to get some turnovers in order to win that one. But, yeah, defense didn't look too hot against the Niners. Brock Purdy, I think, passed for the most career passing yards that he had of his life. Thank God he was trying to target Kirby Joseph as well. But, yeah, you know, I was kind of shocked that we weren't blitzing as much. It didn't seem like we were blitzing Ifeatu Melifonwu as much or Branch. I mean, when we started, Purdy was messing up a lot more. The stats going into the game, Purdy was kind of, you know, he was one of the worst quarterbacks under pressure when teams who blitz more. He's not the best quarterback against that. So I was expecting us to bring the house almost every play. But, you know, they were carving us up there for a little bit, and it was a shootout until the end when we solidified everything. The interceptions, of course, made a big, big difference. But we're going to need some help up front, and I know a lot of people have been talking about Calais Campbell might be available from the Dolphins. I don't know if I like him coming over to us. I don't know if it's going to happen anymore because the Dolphins are fighting for a playoff spot. That was maybe more of a rumor for last week. I also saw that the Patriots, I can't forget what, I can't remember. I am forgetting the D lineman that they just released, but they released somebody that could help us out, but maybe we go and we get them. But I'm not sure. Maybe it was just an off week because, you know, we have played well or better than this on defense with the depletion that we have over there with all the injuries. So maybe they were just, you know, like the announcers kept saying last night, we had the earliest bye week out of all teams in the season, you know, this season. So it's not helping us out at all. We've been playing hard for a long time now, and we could really use that bye week. So maybe they're just getting tired. They've been playing their hearts out for a long time. Eventually it's going to show. It did yesterday, but I'm hoping it was just a fluke and they can come out and play a little bit better against Minnesota because our offense is going to be rolling. I know they have a good defensive coordinator. Their defense has been stepping it up. But a lot of these teams who are supposed to have good defenses, Ben Johnson finds a way to just carve around them and make something happen. So I trust that our offense is going to show up. Defense, we need you big time. I'm going to get over here to the comments and see what's up. MSU Detroit fan, Lions going to knock out the Vikings like the Tigers knocked out the Twins last season. I love it. Yes, I think so too. We're at home. That crowd is going to be playoff atmosphere. It's going to be absolutely insane. Let me know if you're going. I would love to see videos or pictures. I'm not going to go. It's way too expensive. I wish I could go. But the atmosphere is going to be electric. MSU Detroit fan, good to see you back in here, by the way. If we can get Raymond and Anzalone back for this game, that'll be big for us. Yes, 100%. Like I said, Khalif as a return man, that makes a huge difference. Nothing against Tom Kennedy. He had 3 returns for 86 yards yesterday. But, Khalif Raymond is just so much more explosive. He can make anything happen at any time. And he was just starting to get hot before that injury happened. So that sucks. But Anzalone would be absolutely massive on that defensive side. He's always flying around. He's always around the ball. We had a few missed tackles last night that were very frustrating. You know, some of our linebackers who are playing backup, they were getting burnt. They looked a little lost out there. Sometimes I saw Brock Purdy run right past one of our guys he was just kind of looking around like this. So getting Anzalone back, yes, will be massive for that defensive side. I think him and Jack back together and Nowaski, like I said, I think that's a solid linebacking core right there. And you can free up some other guys too, maybe who have been playing for you. Bring them in there as another rusher. You know, bring in 4 linebackers, but have one of them straight up on the edge, blitzing in certain packages and whatnot, like a Jalen Reeves maybe, or maybe somebody else. But it'll be huge for us just to have those 2 back alone. Now, there was a little update a few weeks ago on Kaminsky, the commish, who I thought might be coming back for us sooner than later, or maybe in the playoffs, and Dan Campbell says it's not looking good. He said that he's fighting hard to get back, but it's just, they're kind of staying at the same spot. It's kind of plateauing on his progress to get back. So that's not good news. I'm wishing the best for the commish, and I hope that he can fight through and get back, because that would be a massive upgrade to the defensive line as well. I'm still holding hope that Carlton Davis can come back for the playoffs. They did give him, a 6-week injury deal with his jaw. They said he'd be out for 6 weeks minimum. So hopefully he can heal that up. That is a gruesome injury to come back and play with, because, it's your jaw. You don't want to get hit in your jaw again and bust up your face again. But I know he's a tough guy, and he's going to want to be back. So hopefully we get Carlton back in the playoffs as well. And then, of course, there's that holding on hope for Hutch. Come on, baby. But first things first, we got to take care of business next week. I'm going to get back over here. Casey, Darnold is good for 1.5 picks per game, and Vikings defense backs can't compete with the way Goff spreads the ball around. I agree. Darnold has been playing, well. He played pretty good last game, but he's still, he has his moments. We just got to get in his face. He's going to put it up there, and he relies on his receivers to come down with the ball a lot of the time. So we just got to win a lot of those 50-50s. Yes, Justin Jefferson is a great receiver, and he's done dirty work on us many, many times. But we've won a lot of those games still. I expect JJ to get his, but we just got to weather the storm, and I don't think that they're going to put up 40-plus points. That's the thing. When you look around the league, and they're like, oh, this team's tougher than this team, the Lions are falling off, How many of these other teams are consistently putting up 35-plus, 40-plus points? Because I don't think anybody can hang with us. I think our defense will be good enough to stop other teams enough times for our offense to outscore them. As long as we're rolling the way that we are right now, I don't see anybody stopping us. And the only team that has been able to put up more than us is the Buffalo Bills. That was a huge game for them. But as far as the NFC goes, maybe Philly. I just don't see Minnesota putting up 40-plus on us. Yes, they do have a good offense, but everybody's like, they're the better team now. Lions are falling off. These other teams aren't putting up these numbers. They're like, Sam Darnold, career day. How many points did they score? Look at my boy Goff. 3 tutties. Back-to-back weeks. 40-plus points. Come on now, guys. Let's go. Open your eyes. But you know what? I love it. I love it when they doubt us. I love when we are the underdog. I saw today on Get Up, I think it was, let's see, Greeny. I don't know. The 3 of the 4 had Eagles number 1, Vikings number 2, and Lions number 3 in the NFC. And then Graziano, the only smart one there, he goes, I don't know how you can have the Lions at number 3. He goes, they're putting up 40-plus points a game. And he goes, and they keep proving everybody wrong week after week. He goes, I have Lions 1. He goes, especially if they win next week. Well, they're obviously the 1 seed. He goes, then Eagles 2, then Vikings 3. I think that's the only logical answer there. But keep doubting us, America. Keep doubting us. All you analysts out there, all you reporters, all you beat writers, keep doubting us. Because that's what we want. We love to prove people wrong. And if we're the underdog again, that just gives us more fuel to the fire, baby. More fuel to the fire. All right. But, yeah, I think I expect Darnold to throw a pick. I think Branch is going to have a bounce-back game. He just had a little bit of an off game last game. He made some good plays, but at the same time, he made a few mistakes. I think the refs were being a little harsh on us as well. That whole core, though, that referee group, they are the worst in history to me. They always call bad against the Lions. My grandpa pointed it out that we are 3-8 against that referee group and that referee team. Now we're 4-8, so that's good. But they try their hardest to screw us over, I swear, every single time we play them. Yes, playing against the refs too. But you know what? We overcame. Didn't matter. And that's what we're built to do. Be anybody, including the refs. All right. MSU Detroit fan says, so was the Lions' defensive problems yesterday due to the 49ers play action or just the depth problems biting us? I think it had a little bit to do with both of it. We were biting on that play action big time, and it was opening up a lot of things for Brock Purdy and the offense. Kittle was wide open a few times. Their rookie who got shot was wide open a ton of times. He was killing us. It was a good scheme. I think that, the Niners, let's not forget, they didn't have CMC out there with them, and they didn't have Ayuk. But let's not forget they have one of the best offensive minds in the league as well in Shanahan. And that was just an offensive battle out there. Yes, the defense was having its struggles, but they prevailed. They came through when we needed to with those timely picks. And that's just what it's going to be sometimes in this league. The Niners were expected to be a top team, and they knew that we were going to come in there and try and embarrass them. So they were not going to just roll over and die. They wanted to prove something, too, that they're not giving up. They still have something to fight for, even though they're out of the playoffs. And before the game, their linebacker, he was saying, Dan Campbell said they're bringing everybody to the West Coast. For what? And then, he tried to hype them up and say all that. Well, guess what? We did. We did whoop that ass. Yes. We pulled out the belt and we did the Almond Round. Yeah, that's the Friday celebration too. I love it. But that's a great point. They had a great scheme against our defense. I think people are going to try and use that moving forward. But Aaron Glenn probably is going to expect that now, so they'll have something for that. But I think that they did have a good plan. Also, the defense was struggling a little bit. It was a little combination of both. But I expect our game plan against play action to get cleaned up moving forward, and we should be better against the Vikings. We've seen them once already this year. We have a ton of tape on them. I expect us to come out, very hungry for this one. Not that they weren't for the last one, but let's face it, they didn't have anything really to play for. So for them to come out, get the W, and still fight the way they did, very impressive, because all their minds were probably on were, mine would have been. I was enjoying the game. I was really rooting for us, but I kept thinking, I was like, next week, man, we gotta beat the Vikings, and I'm sure some of their minds were on that as well. Probably before the game. Once you get in the game, you're in the game. You want to win, but they had a lot more to think about than just that game, and they got it together, buckled down, and got the W. So props to them. Props to the coaches for getting them prepared to that as well. And Dan Campbell did say too, in the post-game presser, that he was really debating. It was a tough decision on resting starters this last week, but he wanted to go with the team that he had prepared all week. He didn't want to throw guys out there who were unprepared just because we wanted, to save some injuries. And thank God we came away with, nothing serious. I think that Penei Sewell got a little banged up. Don't be surprised if he shows up on the injury report, maybe a rest day. But Dan Campbell says he's good to go and that he's tough. He's going to play. It's nothing serious with him. He just got looked at for a second over there on the sideline, but he played the majority of the game still. So nothing to be too concerned about if he does or when he does show up on the injury report this week. But once again, MSU Detroit fan, good point there, because I think that they did have a good scheme for us in particular. MSU Detroit fan also says Raymond also had a good game against the Vikings weeks ago, so he can be utilized as a weapon also. Yeah, definitely. He was a big contributor in that game, kind of a secret weapon, and they can. Once he gets back, that's another thing. They won't be expecting that. I mean, they have tape on him from last game, but he hasn't been playing in how many weeks now? They're going to be looking at J-Mo. We've been moving J-Mo the ball, or we've been giving J-Mo the ball a lot lately. They're going to be trying to shut down St. Brown and Laporta. So bring in Tim Patrick and Khalif Raymond. And, we got weapons all over the place. So I agree with you there as well, that he could be used as a little Swiss Army knife, secret weapon type guy against the Vikings if he does come back. MSU Detroit fan also says, yeah, I heard John Comiskey could return for a potential NFC Championship game like Hutch, but yeah, it's not looking good. Yeah, that's pretty much what I heard too. So we got to get there. It'll be much more achievable if we get that home field advantage, because we only have to get one game to get there. But this team is built for the road. We are undefeated on the road, 8-0. You can call them the Road Warriors. That was my favorite tag team as a little kid. What a rush. For all those old school wrestling fans out there. But yeah, we're built to go and beat anybody on the road as well, but we need to get healthy. We need Kamish and Hutch back for that Super Bowl, baby. Hatter's House, woo, go Lions. That's right. 14-2. Best season in Lions history as far as regular season goes. Franchise record, 14 wins. Franchise record, 8 road wins, undefeated on the road. Franchise record, 383 first downs. NFL record, 2 receivers and 2 running backs, both with 100 plus, or all with 100 plus scrimmage yards. We're just breaking records over here. We're just breaking records out here. But we got to break the most important one of them all, and that is the Super Bowl drought. We need to break that drought, and we need to win it all, baby. We need to win it all, baby. I still feel it. I don't know how confident you guys are feeling. Give me from a 1 to 10 how confident you are in the Lions on still making it to the Super Bowl with the way that the defense is right now, with the way that the rest of the NFC is playing right now. I just want to know, on a scale from 1 to 10, what's your confidence in the Lions? And don't be shy. It's okay. I'm still way with them. I'm still right there with them. These guys fight till the end. They're just proving everybody wrong week in and week out. But Run DNC, good to see you in here. Do you want Brad to extend Carlton Davis in the offseason? I think he's earned it. Even though with the injury, he's been playing pretty well over there for us, and I think he helps out that secondary tremendously. When he's out there, things are a little bit different. I mean, Terrion was getting cooked last night, and, he's still a rookie. He's still learning. But without him, it's tough because you have to rely on Vildor. Vildor missed a key tackle last night that I think Carlton Davis makes. Carlton Davis is a very good tackling corner as well. He's gritty. He's tough. He's very sticky out there. So I think he's earned it. I think he fits the mold, and I think he'll help Terrion grow as well. So I know that we got Ennis Rakestraw sitting there that we drafted in the second round, and we want to see what he can do as well. But to me, I like Carlton Davis, and I would 100% bring him back. There's a lot of guys that we're going to have to bring back. There's a huge list, and we could go over it, but I'm going to save that for a postseason episode. But I would 100% bring Carlton Davis back, even though he's out and he's injured right now. You can't predict a broken jaw. But before that, he was playing very well, made some huge, huge plays for us this year, and he's just embraced the culture. He's a Dan Campbell-style player. I would 100% bring Carlton Davis back. How about you? Run DNC? Do you like him? I like him. Lady Lion 20, how do you think Craig Reynolds did? I think he did well. He was running hard. He was out there blocking. He's not Montgomery, but he filled in and did okay when his number was called. Yes, he had, a few runs that didn't go that well, but he caught a few first downs. And he did. He slipped a few tackles and had some real nice runs. I think Craig is just, he's a team player. He's going to do whatever it takes for the Lions to get the W. And I just, I love his heart and his fight. So that's another guy I would bring back on a smaller contract, Craig Reynolds. So I liked what he did. I think he filled in well. Jahmyr Gibbs is obviously the feature back now. He's going to be the main workhorse. But to give Gibbs a rest, I like Craig coming in there, pounding the ball. They tried to give it to Jamar Jefferson down on the goal line. Didn't work out the way that they wanted to, but I like Craig. Now, I like Craig. Okay. MSU Detroit fan says, hold on, here we go. Hatter's House says, you already know it's Lions by 1 million this week. That's right. That's what we came here for. Lions by 1 million. Let's go. MSU Detroit fan says Craig Reynolds and Jamar Jefferson, I think I said it wrong the first time. Yeah, Jamar Jefferson have been doing good. Both aren't going to be David Montgomery, but we do have a really good running back room. Yeah, I agree. And Jefferson did have some nice runs besides down there on the goal line when they were trying to get him a touchdown. He got stuffed, but it's okay because he has nice vision outside of that. I think, he's got a good skill set too that hasn't really been tapped into. He hasn't really had the chances to yet, but him and Craig backing up Gibbs are solid for sure. Definitely not Monty, but we don't need to go out and get somebody. Everybody, I know not everybody, but some people are like, we need to go get Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't think so. I think we're just fine with who we got. And you made a good point there for sure. Carrie, what's up? Carrie said, we need to fix our defense. Vikings are a passing team. We need to find a way to stop them so we don't get ran over. We cannot stop a passing game. Carrie also says, plus the Lions need to watch the QB he loves to run. Yeah, I think that we'll have a better game plan going into this one. Like I said, I think that, MSU Detroit fan made a great point that, 49ers they had a great scheme against us. Their play action was tricking us the whole entire game. They were ready for this game. They had certain plays dialed up for this. They were busting out all the stops. They were doing trick plays. We might see a little bit of that next week, but I think that we'll be much more prepared. I think that the team is going to be more fired up for this game. They didn't have anything to play for this past game unless there was a tie. I guess there was something to play for, because if we would have lost and then we tie Minnesota, the Minnesota gets the number 1 seed. But now, if we tie, since we won, we'll get the number 1 seed and the NFC North Championship. But yeah, I think that we'll have a better plan. Yes, Minnesota is a great passing team. Justin Jefferson has carved us up in the past. He does it almost every game, but we still come out on top. So I trust that they'll probably put up some numbers, but we're going to do enough on defense to get this W, and I don't think that they're going to be able to stop us on offense. I don't see Minnesota putting up 40+, and I see us doing that. It is, concerning with the way our defense played. They do need to make a ton of adjustments going into this week. It was pathetic there for a while. They were looking like absolute garbage. I will give you that, and it was very frustrating. But teams are going to have these type of games. Let's hope that this was kind of a little bit of a fluke. Yes, they're depleted, but they've been playing better than this before. So I'm hoping it was just Kyle Shanahan drew up a big game plan. These guys weren't as fired up for this game because they already had, they knew what was at stake next week already. So I think Glenn will do a much better job. And from now on, teams probably see that play action, how good it worked against us. He's going to come prepared for that moving forward as well. I think we'll be better next week. When we give up a lot of points one week, it's been proven in the past. Look at the game the next week. The defense does step it up and do a lot better. As long as the offense shows up, I feel okay. I feel good. Perry Ball, now we need to win the NFC North by beating the Vikings. That is right. That is correct. Vikings, it's your time. It's Vikings hate week again. It's Vikings hate week again. And you're coming to our house this time. Get ready to have us greet you at the front door. Like Dan Campbell said, if you want to fight, you don't got to look far. We'll be at the front door, baby. We're ready. Bring it. Bring it, Vikings. We ain't scared of you. You might think you're tough, but we're not scared over here. All right? Lions Den 313. Does Alex return this week? We're going to know a lot more about that in the next few days. Dan Campbell did say in the postgame presser, and I talked about this a little bit earlier. Maybe you're joining now, so I'll cover it again. But, he hinted that he was very close to making a comeback, and it could be any day now. So to me, that says they're going to try and get him back for this game. And Alex, I think, wants to go. I think they probably didn't talk to him quite yet because it was immediately post game. But I'm sure the plan was if they locked up the North and the 1 seed this week, like if the Packers were able to beat the Vikings and then we win, which we did, then Alex probably rests. But now that everything's on the line in week 18, whatever it is, in the last week of the season, I wouldn't be surprised, let me say that, if he comes back, especially with the way Dan Campbell answered the question about him returning. He didn't say he was, but he said it could be any day now. We could also get Khalif Raymond back. We talked about that. Khalif could be back for this game as well. Run DNC. I agree, Nick. Carlton Davis is a dog. Very important corner on our team. He also helped us win against the Texans. Yes, he was a huge reason that we won against the Texans and came back. Very good point there. And he is a dog. I love him for this team. He fits the mold perfectly. Give him a few-year contract. I would love for him to be with us for years to come. Perry Ball, Jefferson played well, and Craig played well as well. I agree. We just talked about that. Running back room is just fine. Jahmyr Gibbs, too. My goodness. Look at what he's doing when he's being unleashed. Multiple 100-yard rushing games. Over 150 all-purpose yards. The kid is impressive. That's all I got to say. Run DNC, talking to Kerry, said, part of the passing defense problem is the issues of our front 4D line not being able to get to the quarterback or pressure the quarterback. If we give Darnold too much time, of course, passing D sells. Yeah, it's going to be important to get pressure on him. I think that we're going to see a big game out of Iffy. I think we're going to be bringing him a lot more at Darnold. He had a huge game to lock up the NFC North for us last year against the Vikings, and I think he has another huge game this week. I think Branch also bounces back. He didn't have a good game last week, or last night, as I should say, but he's a baller. This is going to put a chip on his shoulder. He doesn't like having those games, and I think he's going to be fired up. And the defense is going to be fired up in general for this game. The crowd should bring a lot of help as well. This is going to be a playoff atmosphere. Darnold won't be able to hear. It should be a factor. And I expect our defense to bring a lot more pressure, especially coming from the linebackers, safeties, maybe some corner blitzes. Glenn's going to be dialing it up this week. He's going to be dialing it up, and we got to get in Darnold's face because, yeah, if he gets too much time, he's going to cook. But I trust that our offense will be able to hang. All right. Kerry says, run DNC. Yes, I agree. Louis Cruz, what's up? Vikings only scored 40-plus once. Darnold is no Allen or Jackson. The game will be leveled. Let's get the dub. Yeah, I 100% agree, and that's what I've been saying, all week. People were praising Darnold and the Vikings. Man, they beat the Packers 27-25. 27, bro. We just put a 40 burger up. Yeah, I know it was against a 49ers team who's out of the playoffs and whatnot. But we've been doing that to other teams. We've been doing that all year. We've been doing this all year long. We'll see if you can hang come Sunday night. We'll see. All right, Perry Ball. We are in the playoffs. Hopefully we get some guys back from injuries. Yes, and that's the most important thing to remember here, everybody. I want the North. I want the 1 seed 100%. It's going to be very heartbreaking and crushing if we don't win on Sunday night. But we got to remember, we're in the playoffs already, and we just went undefeated on the road. We can go and play anywhere. We can hang with anybody. I trust this team to make some noise no matter what happens, but I also trust that we're going to lock this thing up on Sunday night. Let's go. All right. Sorry, I'm getting hype. Is this Sunday yet? I can't wait. Kerry says we so need this win, 100%, especially with the injuries. So, as I am saying, yeah, we can go and win everywhere. We need a bye. We need a bye bad. We had the earliest bye in the league. We need our second bye in the first round of the playoffs. We have to get this number 1 seed, and I think they know it's important too. I think they know how important this is. Jason, I think Anzalone is playing. Me too. He's just a gamer. If he's able to go, he's going to go this Sunday night. That's the way I see it. He's been making posts. I don't know if you saw what he said about the city of Detroit. Some good things. Alex Anzalone, he's making his way back. I think he's coming back on Sunday. Perry Ball resign. I don't know why I resigned. Resign Travis. Depends on what he wants, and ask Rakestraw take a big leap. Okay. Yeah, Rakestraw is probably going to have to take a big leap next year, and I think that he was ready to go. He's been injured for a long time too. We'll get him back very soon, so that will help the secondary too. He wasn't a starter ever, but he's a dog, and I think we'll see that more and more. Hopefully he makes some big time plays in the playoffs. That'd be awesome. But one guy I want to say who's been doing pretty well out there for the secondary and had some big time plays for us last night as well, Amik Robertson. I love what he's been doing. He's an absolute dog as well. We just got dogs everywhere. We need bones to throw out on the field, man. We ain't the Browns over here, though. But, yeah, we're the Lions. But Amik Robertson, loving his play. Perry Ball, Gibbs got 1,200 so far this season. Yes, 1,200 all-purpose yards. He's a beast. He is a beast. Love what he's doing. Or 1,200 rushing yards. Yes, he's on fire. I love him and Monty together, but imagine what he could do if he was always the featured back as well. But, I love the Sonic and Knuckles combo because then, they stay fresh for the whole game. Unfortunately, Monty, come back, Monty, come back. That's another guy, though, that we're holding hope for the playoffs. So get that bye so Monty can come back and play. Okay, Perry Ball says Branch need to stay in control. Yes, he does. Yeah, he did make a few dumb, boneheaded plays. Cost us some yards. Kirby came over and defended Terrion Arnold. I thought that was justified because the guy had his fist on Terrion's throat, so defending your teammate there. But, yeah, Branch just kind of loses his head sometimes. He's a gamer, though. He goes out there, and he lays that hit. I mean, he plays with fury. He just sometimes needs to control it, Played with controlled fury, baby. Got octane running through the blood. Perry Ball also says the Lions should have beat the 49ers, and we did. Yep, we beat them this year. Last year we should have beat them for sure, too. This was a revenge game, and everybody that we lost to last year, we beat this year. So let's get it. We have one more team. We have two teams that we lost to this year. And we could complete the revenge tour if we meet the Bills in the Super Bowl. If we meet the Bucks in the playoffs and we beat them. Let's go. All right, let's do it. Big game next Sunday. This coming Sunday night. It got flexed to Sunday Night Football for those of you who didn't know, but you probably know. But it's time to see your score predictions for the Lions versus Vikings. For all the marbles. I got the Lions winning 45. Hold on, no. Yeah, 45-35. We're going to win by 10. 45-35 Lions win. John Peterson says Lions win 38-28, also winning by 10. Okay. Like that. Lady Lion, I like this even more, and I hope that this happens. 41-17. Yes. A blowout. Show them who's boss. Show them it's never been a dispute who the king of the North is. They just been playing way easier teams and barely scraping by. When we're over here putting up 40 plus, I almost said 50, 60. Let's put up a 60 burger on these boys. Let's go. All right. Kerry says, do you think they should use Laporta more? I think that they will. I think that, he got 6 receptions this past game. It's starting to step up. But I think, we talked about this. I forget who mentioned this in a previous episode, but I think that they will. I think that they're saving a lot of plays for the playoffs. They kind of knew they were going to make that. They have secret weapons for Laporta ready to go. I think, J-Mo's starting to get used a lot more these last games. They're starting to ramp it up. And then people are starting to forget about Amon-Ra, and that's when we get him a wide-open touchdown on 4th down. I definitely see it happening. I think that it's been for a reason why they haven't been giving him as many touches as he was last year. But Laporta did. He's one of the first tight ends in NFL history, I believe, to have consecutive seasons with 600-plus receiving yards. I'll have to look at that. Don't quote me on that because I don't have that stat in front of me. But he still is having a good season. It is less or a little bit lackluster from what it was last year. But I think that it's for a reason and that they're really going to start using him in a huge way. Maybe this week, but playoffs, 100% sure that they're going to be doing that. But I think that they should. I think that they will and they should. Kerry says Lions 38, Vikings 35, close game. That's probably, I could see that happening for sure. But as long as the Lions come out on top. Hatter's House, big boy game. That's right. That's what Goff said. Lions by 1,000,000. Let's handle business. Let's go. That's what I came here for. That's right. Jay Mommy, good to see you in here. The Packers missed on a few interceptions against the Vikings. That gives the Lions some film to study. Yeah, they did miss on some key plays that they could have come back and won. They just, they were playing very uncharacteristic for the whole first half. I'm disappointed in you, Packers, but I will never, ever root for you again. That's the first and last time I'll ever cheer you on. I don't care what the stipulations are. You let me down, and I hate you. I already hate you, It already pained me to look at your stupid jersey and say, all right, come on, do something good. But, yeah, I'll never do that again. Never rely on you guys again. And, yeah, if you don't know out there, Derek, the guy who runs this channel, he said, activate the Thanos meme. And, that's the one that says, fine, I'll do it myself. And he puts on, yeah. It's time. It's time to take care of business. We got to do it ourselves. Wouldn't have it any other way. This is a huge, huge game. It's going to be America's Game of the Week. Everybody's going to be watching. This is pretty much a playoff game. Decides the North and the number 1 seed. Let's go take care of business. I got the Lions 45-35. If there's no more questions, I see one coming. Kerry says, do you think Goff will start running? If he needs to. I think now this game is huge. They know it's on the line. We've seen him take off a few times in key moments, and he picked up some big plays for us, big first downs. So I think that he'll do it if he needs to. He's not the fastest guy, of course, but, yeah, I think he will look to do it if it's wide open instead of taking, a risk at somebody down the field, but it's going to have to be timely. He's going to have to see that it's wide open, but I think that, if it comes down to it, Goff is not scared to use his legs. I don't think he's going to need to, though, but yes, I think that if it's necessary, he will. Easy Lions minutes. Nah, we live for this. Nobody else going to win the North for us. This is a team built for moments like this. That's right. And you can see it in Dan Campbell's face, too. He was happy. That it's happening this way. He's been talking about it. He said a few weeks ago, he goes, man, Minnesota won. That's great. They're keeping pace with us. It could come down to the wire. I think he's secretly been, praying for this because this is a huge moment, and they do live for the moments like this. They're going to be fired up. Our crowd's going to be fired up. It's going to be playoff atmosphere. It's going to be electric, and I cannot wait. This is going to be a long week for me. It's Tuesday only. Come on, man. At least it's Victory Tuesday. But I can't wait for Sunday. I cannot wait for Sunday night. Luis, 34-21. I'm assuming you're saying Lions, hopefully. That's right. That's a good score prediction there, though. J Mommy, 8th primetime game of this year. How many times does that happen? That's right. For those of you who bought the Sunday ticket this year, you should ask for some money back because games keep getting flexed. And you can see a lot of their games on public access, for anybody who's out of the market. They have had quite a few primetime games. I mean, just about half, almost half. I mean, you can't do half this year because there's uneven games. But, yeah, 8 primetime games, that's impressive. Kerry says, let's go Lions. I'm with you. Let's go Lions. I got them winning 45-35. And if there ain't no more questions, I'm going to get out of here. And I'm hoping I'll be back. Well, I'm definitely going to be back next Tuesday. But I'm hoping to be here for another Victory Tuesday. Same time, same place, 5 p.m. Detroit time, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. on the West Coast. I am Nick Harksen with Touchdown Detroit Lions over here on the Syndicate Sports Detroit Network. I hope you all have a great week. Let's go Lions.
Touchdown Detroit Lions!